very warm welcome. This is Professor Dr. Zia Ahmed, and today we are going to discuss what is called as the introduction to modern drama. I think this is very important topic, and that is why it should be discussed in detail in order to know what is this thing going to be. So we start with the modern drama. This is introduced here like saying modern drama refers to a movement in theatrical literature that emerged in the late 19th century and early 20th century. So at least we are now aware of the timing, that is the late 19th century and the 20th century when this drama started to emerge. Okay, and characterized by break from traditional forms and themes of classical and romantic drama. So there it's quite evident that if it goes on, it means that it will be quite different from the thing which was happening in the classical dramas. And therefore, it will be different from romantic drama as well. That is why it incorporates realism, naturalism, and experimentation in style, subject matter, and staging. Therefore, certain changes were introduced, and these changes included that there was not only realism but also naturalism. And the experimentation was done in the style of writing, in the subject matter, and in the stage also. Modern drama often deals with the contemporary social issues, psychological depth, and the complexity of human relationship. So this drama was more a psychological drama. For example, it discussed the social issues, but in the sense of psychological depth, and then it talked about the complexity of human relationship as well. So it means that it was different from the classical Shakespearean drama. It included in it something which could be called modern because it tried to discuss the things psychologically. So in that way, these were some of the characteristics of the modern drama, that it began the 19th late century and then in 20th century beginning, and it was different from the classical drama, and it had as the experimentation of style, subject matter, and the staging, and it dealt the things psychologically, and it had some kind of naturalism in it also. There are some key features of the modern drama. First of all is the realism and naturalism. It means that there was an emphasis on everyday life of the human being and ordinary characters. The characters were not princes and kings and generals, but most of the time these were ordinary people. And ordinary life was discussed in these dramas. It had some kind of authentic and realistic setting and dialogue. The what are the things people talked about, it was considered to be in reality, and the thing could be tested and verified. These were the things talked about, the way they were talked about. And then there was the exploration of societal problems like poverty, gender, inequality, and class struggle. So one can say that instead of the heroic deeds, the discussion in such dramas was about the human problems, the problems like poverty, gender inequality, and the class struggle. So these key features continue in the next slides as well. For example, if we talk about the themes of the drama, it focused on existentialism, on identity, and on human condition. We're not going to talk about identity and human condition. We should be talking about existentialism. That means how life is, how human beings were forced to exist even if they didn't want to. That was the type of thing talked about in such dramas. And it was also a critique of traditional norms and institutions and values. It means that most of the time, the tradition values or the norms which were the routine of the day in the past classical poetry and drama, that was converted into non-traditional kind of thing, and therefore modern way of life was discussed. Because of the modernity, we know the human beings started to suffer from the family system or the gathering system into alienation, and then they became disillusioned as well, that whatever the romantic ideals they had, the human beings started to become disillusioned. And that is why common themes in such dramas were like that. It was focusing most of the time on existentialism, and it had an anti-view of the traditional systems and institutions, and it tried to explore what is modernity, alienation, and disillusionment. Let's talk about this experimental or experimentation system. What was the type of experimentation done? The very first experimentation was in the non-linear narrative and fragmented plots, which meant that the stories didn't go smooth, soft, and in one line way, but rather they would start and then stop and let the other stories enter into it. And then the stories would not converge on one person only, it had different other things as well. The plots were also fragmented. They were not fully developed, complete plots, but rather they were in fragments. And then is the breaking the fourth wall and self-awareness of the play. That is very important. It means that whatever the play is preaching, whatever the play is about, it was shown to be aware of that. Not only definitely the dramatist was aware, but also drama itself, but also the people who were watching that, they were aware and they could see themselves in the play. And that is why this was the continuation and the intersectioning of the writer, the drama, and the people around. Then there was the use of frequent symbolism, absurdity, and surrealism. What was good for the humanity, what was good things for which were happening, which one could enjoy and feel good about, surrealism therefore was there, and absurdity also, absurdity of claiming and doing things and thinking in that way, perhaps they can do all, but perhaps they were not able to do anything. And in the same way, symbolical speeches, symbolical ways, and the standing of the symbolical features, these were also one of the important features. And experimentation was done in the sense that these things did not exist in the past time. New things were entered. The things which were thought by the classical dramatists to be useless, these were brought before in such dramas. Not only the experimentation, but also we had the psychological depth in such dramas. The psychological depth indicated that the characters with intricate internal conflicts. I mean, external conflicts were mostly common inside the classical dramas, but internal ones were also there. But these internal conflicts adopted a very intricate type of shape as the characters of the modern drama can be seen. They had a lot of intricacy and complexity about their conflicts. It was not easy to understand them. And therefore, the subconscious motive of the human beings became the focus of exploration of the desires and the motivations by the human beings, whatever they possessed as the hidden desire or the motivation, that was to be explored in such drama. So that is why it more dealt with the psychological aspect of the human behavior rather than any other aspect. It also talked about innovative staging. I mean, the stage, the Shakespearean stage, for example, was different in case of modern drama, because in modern drama, very little short stage was established with very little number of things in it, because the stage was not to play that very much important role. It was only considered to be having something which may be called useful only for the sake of dialogue or only for the sake of situation. Otherwise, it has no that much importance. That is why the stage design was minimalist. And alongside that, the uses of multimedia, lighting, and sound effects to enhance storytelling. These things definitely were less available in the past time. So that is why now when technology is available in the shape of multimedia and lightning of different type, lighting of different type, and the sound effect. All these things can combine together to create a very good effect of the drama. So modern drama did have these mechanical, technical type of things as well. Modern drama got popularity definitely in the start of this 20th century, and the people who were responsible for this modern drama for its popularity, the first one was Henrik Ibsen, who is known as the father of modern drama because of his play A Doll's House. And then he also wrote Hedda Gabler Explores, and he tried to explore in such dramas the social norms and individual freedom, the kind of things he tried to explore. So that is why he's called as the father of the modern drama, because his dramas proved the point what the human life is and what are the apparent things, what is the hidden of these things, and what meaning can be deduced out of that. So Henrik Ibsen, one of the most important playwrights of the modern drama. Same is the case with Anton Chekhov. Anton Chekhov was Russian, and he was a playwright who focused on character-driven storytelling. He told the story, but it was told with respect to in the context of the character which he was developing. So for him, character became more important rather than the story or the plot of the drama. His famous dramas are The Cherry Orchard and The Spiegel, in which he highlights the struggles of the ordinary people. So, ordinary people were also here the focus, the center of the stage. So, Chekhov also introduced such ordinary human problems and human issues and psychologies and their struggle with life. Not only Chekhov, but another grand figure in this drama is G.B. Shaw, George Bernard Shaw. He was British come Irish playwright, and he was known with respect to his witty behavior and social critique. So in his dramas also, we find similar kind of wit and the social criticism which he tries to offer. One of his plays is Pygmalion, which is a masterpiece, and then is Major Barbara. These two plays discuss the class and the morality, and therefore they become the discussion on the society also, the morals of the society also. Then we have another dramatist, and he is Bertolt Brecht. He is the pioneer of epic theater, and he therefore wrote the Three Penny Opera and Mother Courage and her children. Use these dramas use alienation techniques to provoke critical thinking. So in that way, there are some dramatists who are the key figures, key dramatists of the modern age. George Bernard Shaw is one of them, very successful, very widely read as well. Then is Bertolt Brecht. It's being repeated that he was a master of the epic theater and the dramas that I already mentioned, Three Penny Opera and Mother Courage and Her Children, that reflected the scene of alienation. Then is Samuel Beckett, another grand figure in modern drama. Samuel Beckett is a key figure in the theater of the absurd. So this is the important thing, theater of the absurd. I mean, those things which are normally thought to be abnormal and absurd, these are presented by these dramatists in their dramas. For example, Waiting for Godot exemplifies themes of existential despair and absurdity. Human beings definitely live in this world and they cannot live as per own their wishes. They have to follow the existence of life, and that is why the drama focuses on existentialism. And that most of the time existentialism contains despair and absurdity in the behavior of the people. So that is why this thing becomes important in this drama of Samuel Beckett, that is Waiting for Godot. Eugene O'Neill is again another dramatist. He's American, a playwright exploring family dynamics and psychological struggles. He discusses lots of things about this modern drama in his plays. Then most important thing is the family relationship and how do these relationships develop, break, and ultimately rejoin. And then is the psychological struggle of his characters that is also shown by him. His works, like Long Day's Journey into the Night, are deeply personal and introspective. Okay, so Eugene O'Neill is also one of the famous and good dramatists of the modern drama. This modern drama, we can conclude by thinking, transformed the theatrical world. There's a big change, definitely, from the classical drama, so that is why we can say there was a transformation of the theatrical world, setting up the stage as contemporary theater. We also noticed that the theater became different. The stage became different as compared to the classical drama. It challenged conventions and inspired future movements, including postmodern and experimental theater. It didn't talk about the traditional kind of situations. Instead of traditional, it brought postmodern and the experimental theater. Its influences extends beyond literature, shaping film, television, and other narrative arts. So we can say that this drama, modern drama, was not only available on the stage or in the books, but also it changed the shape of the film and the TV and the narrative, other arts as well, because it influenced very heavily. So that was the way how modern drama impacted the life in general, life of literature, and life of the movies. We can say thank you for your time here. You gave time for watching it, but if you like it, if you got something out of it, do not fail to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and comment if you like. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in some next video.